Hello guys and welcome to another Mad Chili video. Today we're gonna do another episode of Design, Build and Race. Or just Build and Race, or whatever I'm deciding to call it. I don't totally know. So, well, basically we're here in automation. We're gonna go ahead and design a car, and then we're gonna take it into Beamng Drive and take it for a drive and see how it is. Now I thought today we'd go for a bit more of a stupid vehicle. We're going to build a high-powered monster of a van. Now, it probably won't handle very well, but I'm expecting it to be quick. So, we're going to use the 2007 van model. It's the most up-to-date van they have in the game. And we'll see what we can do with it. So, it is quite a big van. You know, it's definitely a van. It's not like this sort of thing, which is sort of half van, half car. It is definitely a van. So, we'll wait and see how it pans out. So, obviously we're going to go for things like this, and the aim, I think, is to try and make it, well, we want it to be white. We want it to be really, really light, I think. That might help us, it being a van. And we're going to want high drivability, probably, given how this is going to go. So, who knows? We'll see how it all pans out with this, I guess, but so we want quite a high drivability, obviously maximum quality on everything, because who cares? It really isn't important what we do here. So we'll select an existing, no, we're not going to select an existing engine, because I could just whack the supercar engine I made in this thing, but I don't want to do that. So we're going to go ahead and make a new engine family. We're going to call this one Silly Power and Silly Power Cars, variant number 1. So this is for a dumb, and we probably will make some sort of stupid dragster at some point in the future as well. So we're probably going to make it a V12, because why wouldn't we? With an aluminium block, and it looks like, given this thing's a van, it has quite a bit of engine space, so we can do quite a bit with it, which is nice. And we're going to fit with its max. Well, I don't know. This is the lightest of all of them. So what we want to do, I think we'll go. This is what's nice about it being a van. We can fit lots and lots of CCs in here. It's a big. You can fit a big engine in a van. So that is what we're going to try and do. We've maxed out the space we've got now. I'm going to go ahead and try and max this out as good as we can. So 90.4, I need to remember that. We can go max size, cool. So we've got a very big engine there, very, very big, which is what we want. The crank, this might start to push stuff over, I am wondering. We'll see if it pushes stuff over. So, yeah, we'll see how this all turns out. So, max quality, obviously. So we have gone with something pretty big. And if we can do that right, we'll leave all the engine settings until later. We're going to give it a turbo, obviously, but I'm going to wait to adjust all of these settings. I'm going to wait till later. Obviously, we're going to go with all this, but cylinder, definitely race, definitely ultimate fuel. We want this thing to be as quick as possible. Dual exhaust, I don't know. So a lot of this we will change based on how much power we think we can get out of this thing. So at the moment we have got, obviously, we will have a number of issues with it. This isn't the finished build. So this is where we start to do the engine sort of testing. So the intercooler is now fine. Turbine, want that to be max size. Compressor, we want to be max size as well. Does ball bearing help us? We'll wait and see, I think, later. But basically, we just want to try and tune this thing so it's as good as we're going to get. So there you go, the exhaust needs to get a bit bigger. Cool, 840 horsepower already getting through this thing. So we'll see what we can get by the end, but I reckon we might be able to get something quite decent. So we want quite a high level of AR ratio. And look, you can see we've already started to tweak it quite well, look. We are already really pushing this thing. Unfortunately, it does appear that we won't be able to fully develop this car quite yet. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to, unfortunately, because things like the compressor, they can't be any larger, unfortunately, and that's what we have to live with. So yeah, unfortunately, so the turbine is one there, so we're going to have to use. So we'll have to try and figure some stuff out later on as to what we're going to do about that compressor, because it could obviously become a little bit of an issue. But we haven't got any other issues with the rest of this, so hopefully we're okay. Like the compressor, hopefully we can try and fix it with the ignition timing. Oh, it looks like the ignition timing that was set was actually the best one we were going to get, I think. RPM limits, looks like it's as good as it's going to get there. So I'm not sure whether we can. No, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to really change much. Unfortunately, this could end up being a problem. Oh, I think that helped the compressor, changing that to ball bearing. Oh, and turning down the ignition. I'll turn down the boost. So that's 0.96, 0.95. There you go, 0.96. And then it starts going down again. So it's looking like that's the best we're going to get out of our engine. It doesn't rev very high, this thing. And then, oh no, 0.96 out the compressor looks like the best thing we're going to get. The engine bay is very full. Higher service costs. Again, higher service costs, not a problem to us, as we're not selling this to anybody like you normally would in automation. Obviously, as I've said many times, in automation you would normally sell a car to somebody. In our case, however, we're not selling it to anybody because we're converting it into Beamng drive to have a little bit of fun with it. So at the moment, I think the most horsepower I got through that previous car, unfortunately, it does look like that's the max we're going to get out of compressor, 0.96. So we're going to get a slight airflow restriction caused by the compressor, but unfortunately, it can't be any bigger. So what can we do about it? We can't do anything about it. So, and then things like, oh yeah, compression I need to change, and oh, VVT, that helped a bit maybe. Got us a little bit extra power. So the cam profile, another thing that we can change. Compression, oh, that might be able to change the compressor. So these are things we can also change to try and get as much power. I think we've got like 1400 horsepower out of our supercar V12, but this is a bigger V12, so we'll be able to get more out of it, that's for certain. This thing's now really pushing. Look at that, 1700 horsepower. So this is what we're looking at. It's going to be a bit of a silly car. I will say that. I know it's going to be a really silly car. That's kind of obvious. So it looks like, yeah, we're going to have to push the RPM crazy high. Sadly, that compressor cannot manage it. Our compressor can't manage this. So we might have to limit this car to something else. 0.77 now. It's really bad. Unfortunately, our compressor, we've got some issues with it. And it doesn't look like we're going to be able to fix anything there. And you can't get a bigger compressor, so... oh dear. We might have some problems here trying to get this thing to work. This stupid power car. Might have some problems. There we go, actually, if we reduce the boost, that's helping. It's decreasing our power by about 100. But overall, I'd say we're okay. Increase the intercooler as well. That'll get our power back up again. And now the turbine's an issue. Unfortunately, is higher RPM going to help that? It's not going to help it. Made it worse. So unfortunately, yeah, we are going to have some slight issues with trying to get this thing to work. Oh, they got 1900 horsepower. Oh my word. So the pistons experience high RPM levels or stress, considering, so improve the pistons. Don't think we can do that now, can we? I think we've got the best type. That type was a bit better, maybe. No, this type can handle more RPMs. Max torque we want maybe now then. No, they're the best we can get, these are, so we can't get anything better. Meaning that, oh well, I guess. We can't get any better. The turbine is an issue now. You know, we fixed the compressor, and then, oh, here you go, yeah, the pistons and conrods have become an issue. Sadly, not a single type of them can handle any of this. It looks like we are going to have to limit the RPM on this thing to about 7,000. They go 6,900 we're going to have to limit it to. Sadly, because this thing can't really tolerate anything else. But yeah, unfortunately we're going to have some problems with the turbine, but the rest of the car is okay. And it's not enough for it to give us a warning, because both of these are bad warnings that don't matter, so I've ignored them. Well, a single exhaust. No, we don't want a single exhaust. We definitely want a double exhaust. Okay, so it doesn't look like we're going to be able to do anything about this then. This turbine issue. Oh, maybe improving the AR ratio did slightly improve it. Oh, cool. So there we go. By improving the AR ratio, we have slightly got rid of that problem. I don't know. It's been a bit of a faff, this engine, but they go, oh, up to 1880 horsepower. There you go. Keep it so the compressor stays good. So I've got 1,880 horsepower at this thing now. Absolutely nuts. What have we done? I don't know what we've done. We've created a monster here. It's going to be good. I have a feeling. I'm going to be scared of this car. So now it's just like the fine tweaks in the fuel mixture, trying to get the best car we can. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to do anything better. How does this thing sound? Whoa, it's loud. This thing's loud. This thing's really loud, actually. Okay, nice. So the turbine is the one thing we have got a slight issue with. It's an airflow restriction, but it doesn't look like we're going to be able to do anything about it, so I will ignore it, I guess. Doesn't look like we're going to... Oh, improving the cam profile. That's nice. Get a bit more horsepower at this thing. How much horsepower can this thing have? 1901, 1904, 1912. Oh my word. So there's the max compression, look. 1,916 horsepower. What have we done? What have we created here? We've created too much power. Like, we've got too much power. This is dumb. There you go, 1919 horsepower. That's the max we're going to get out of this thing. So I'll leave it there. That is our engine sorted. 1,919 horsepower. Can't wait to put this thing on a van body. It's going to be absolutely hilarious. Now, we want to try and shorten this thing up as much as possible. Make it a bit more aerodynamic to try and increase our straight line speed. You know, the more straight line speed we can get out of this thing, the better, really. So try and make it just a little bit more aerodynamic. Because it has to be a van body, that's the rules, but, you know, didn't say anything else. As long as it's a van body, and it can be recognised as a van, which this thing, I mean, come on, this looks like a van, so, you know, it's within the rules. Push this out a little bit. There you go. I think that's good. Pretty good. Put in the wheel arches a bit. And then, you know, body quality obviously max. We'll max out on quality wherever we can. Now, paint doesn't matter because we can change it inside Beam. Well, I'm liking these lights. We'll go with quite big lights on this thing. We're not going to go with a wing or anything like that. This thing might handle atrociously, but I don't mind. I think this thing is actually one of the best looking things we've made on automation. I mean, it's not really much to say. As always, as well, I haven't really mentioned this, but the link to this mod will be available in the description for you guys to go and download from the Beamng forums. The two that I featured in the last video have now been uploaded on the Beam forum, so you can check those out. I have had a good few downloads looking at them, so they've been pretty popular. Grill, this engine I have a feeling is going to need lots of air. We'll go with, like, this is like a Jaguar style grill, isn't it? Almost. We'll go with quite a big one, I think. And there you go, the beauty factor of this car just basically disappeared, or van. I don't know. It looks okay still. It's a bit weird. You can make some right weird looking cars in this game. It's one thing I will definitely say. I've discovered that. Now I don't really want a spoiler or a wing on this thing. Because the purpose of this car, it's not going to handle very well. We'll go with a little lip on the back. And we'll put the exhaust inside it later. I mean, this thing's got twin exhausts. We'll go with big exhausts on this thing. Because as we know, we need to try and get it out. No mirrors, because, aerodynamics. And who really cares about mirrors? And then we'll go with the door handle. So again, obviously, all these things wouldn't matter if we were selling it to the public. Well, not the public in this game, I guess. But we're not. Oh, for once, we can actually fit a license plate to the front. We haven't been able to do that yet because of how I built my cars. And then obviously fit one to the back. So this car does look alright. It doesn't look the best. Should we go with a bumper bar? I think we should. Can we get one that just like bolts onto the bottom? Oh, that one looks nice. Can we have that? Maybe this should have gone on the back, but oh well. Put it in the middle if I can. And then extend it. There we go. That's a nice looking bumper bar. This thing is just weird. It is an odd car. We don't tend to put badges on our cars, so we'll leave them. Actually, I'll just save it. Just reminds me now. Save. There, cool. Wheels. I'll just go with the default wheels. I haven't actually downloaded any mods or anything like that in terms of parts to make the car look nice. And exhausts. We're going to go for some nice big ones. Yep, look at that. Nice and massive. I mean, after all, this thing is, it's got a big engine, so in reality it would need some nice big exhausts. Why can't I click on this exhaust? Hello? There. That was difficult. For some reason. Right, there we go. Yeah, this thing does look a bit hilarious. As I said, it's not meant to be a sensible car. I mean, just to make it even less sensible, let's go ahead and stick a tow bar to the back of this thing, This thing might be quite good at towing. It's got quite a lot of torque. So, who knows? Actually, does that affect on straight line speed? If it does, we won't have it. It'll definitely be rear-wheel drive, because we're just dumb like that. It will definitely be dual clutch 7 ratios max speed. Because we know how dumb we are. Just fitting absolute max. We'll fit, decent differentials and everything like that. Now, the spacing between the gears, we'll have that for now. Due to long gearing, lower the top speed, please. Okay, what is this thing's actual max speed? I want to find that out first. Let's try that. This thing thinks it can do, 278. This hasn't even got the warning yet, so that's cool. That's amazing. This is silly. This is really silly, definitely. That's for certain. We'll wait and see how this whole thing works out. Max tyre width, obviously. Semi-slicks to make this thing as drivable as possible, although I really don't think it'll be particularly drivable. Oh, there you go. So it recommends using sports compound. So, we've done that. I've ignored these suggestions because they're not relevant. For now, we'll keep all this the same. This thing I'm expecting to need some pretty big brakes. Now, we've gone with 300s, haven't we? Because otherwise they just fade, unfortunately. I don't know why that is, but it's all they did was just fade and want max pad type. Obviously, because again, we want max pad type because the only thing that a lower pad type brings you is comfort. And comfort only matters if you're selling this thing. Definitely downforce, Tro. We want as max downforce. Actually, no, we want no downforce. Remember? We want no downforce at all. Because we're dumb like that. Alright, we do, obviously this thing, I think cooling is going to have a factor in Beamng, obviously. We're going to want a bit of brake airflow to stop ourselves. We'll go with an active wing and things like that. But no downforce. We want this thing to be quick. Now, obviously, it's a racing thing, so no proper interior, no proper seats. Power steering, yes. Make this thing a little bit nicer to drive. Max traction aids, that's for certain. We're going to need them with this, ferocious engine in the back. No safety because it's the lightest. And get ourselves some most. Again, so we want active sport. I think we're probably going to go with. They've got the best drivability. Now this thing apparently will understeer when it reaches 50. Amazing! Amazing, amazing, amazing. That's great. That just says everything about this car, doesn't it? The car has severe issues with wheel spin. Okay, so we have got some problems with that then. We have got some severe problems with that, which we need to fix. We can't produce the car with it. So we're going to have to try and, unfortunately, lower the spacing of the gear. So I think that's what we're going to have to do. However, that's done absolutely nothing. Great. Apparently, it recommends having traction. We might have to make this thing all-wheel drive. There you go. We might have to... There you go. I've made it all-wheel drive. That's hopefully fixed that issue. I would have rathered it be rear-wheel drive just for the sake of it being a bit more stupid, but we can make it all-wheel drive. It doesn't matter. It's just a bit of a shame. Yeah, it makes this car a little bit less stupid. This thing's understeer has improved slightly. If we improve downforce, like, it does absolutely nothing. What does downforce actually do? Does it really do anything, downforce? It makes me wonder. Well, I don't know. This thing probably won't be the most drivable of things. Really, I want this thing to try and excel at the top speed challenge. I don't expect it to go very well around the lap. In fact, I might not even be able to get this thing round a lap. It's that bad. So I don't know whether we'll be able to do a lap, but no, I'm trying to find out. 262 top speed at the moment. This thing's got a top speed of 262 at the moment. I'm just looking to see if there's anything we can do that can fix this. Yeah, this whole oversteer and understeer thing is like exactly the same, no matter what we do. Having no undertray seems to help, although all that massively decreased top speed. So we're definitely going to go for one. What about increasing the downforce then? Yeah, so increasing downforce massively affects top speed. Good to know. I mean, this thing isn't really a hypercar or anything. It's not really anything, which is quite funny. We've got a fair amount of downforce that this thing makes, but unfortunately we can't really do anything in the corners, sadly. Recommends decreasing the front brake size. We'll decrease it slightly. But I'm not expecting this thing to be great. I mean, let's look at the brakes. So the brakes, we can stop this thing in 9 seconds. Okay, 9 seconds. And we'll get this thing traction control to try and combat our issues. Actually, I think the SC is probably better. So that's what we're going to go with. I think we are complete with our car now. I'll just check that none of these things will change how our car is. Its drivability is 51. Not too bad. What if we increase line height? I don't think I'll do anything. But and obviously we want to test the suspension with just the driver and no additional cargo. Drivability factor 108%. So not too bad then, the suspension. So let's see what this thing can do round the Top Gear test track. I don't know how it's going to do, honestly. This thing's loud. rated at 109.93. Now, I don't know, maybe this thing will turn out to handle quite well. But obviously I'm really looking forward to its top speed of 262. It's just mad, isn't it? Why? What have I done? I don't know what I've done. We've created a van with a top speed of 262. It's just total silliness, honestly. Total stupidity is what I've done there. So, who knows what we've created here? I would like to know what we've created, really. I don't know, but who knows what we've done? I don't really know what we've done here, but... oh wow, we've probably messed something up. But yeah, who knows what we can do? So still when we're going fast, this is like... so we'll start to understeer at about 70. So I'm not sure there's anything we can do to combat. As I said though, this thing really isn't meant to be quick. It's meant to be silly. So we'll stick with this. There you go. We'll get this car going. So, you know, it's such a dumb car. I will be completely honest. There's a lot of weight over the front. 7 speed. There you go. 1,900 horsepower. Red lines at 7,000 RPM. Pretty much. Man, this thing I will say is very. How do I say this? Stupidly quick. So we'll go ahead and export it to Beam now, and then we'll see how it drives. So the car name, we're going to call this the Chili Dragster van, and the mod name will be Chili Dragster van, and that's my car brand, by the way, Chili. So that's what we built. We have basically built a drag van. It's a bit of a dumb thing. 262 mile an hour theoretical top speed. So let's see what this thing does. Who knows? Right, we'll go ahead and export it. We'll let that export. And yeah, I don't know. Who knows? I reckon this thing will be a handful in Beamng, but why not? Have a little bit of fun. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this series. I enjoy doing it. That's for certain. Making these wacky cars and then driving them. I'm going to go ahead and confirm that, and then let's go ahead and see what this thing drives like. I'm really interested to know what this thing drives like. So let's go ahead and confirm that. And there we go. We'll save it there. And we are finished. So we'll go back to the menu. And there you go. It's the... it's this one here. Nope, Model 2. It's this one here. So, yeah, it's quite a low, I don't know, its drivability level is quite low, however, it's slightly higher than that first test car I made. So who knows, its reliability is actually 82, so it's got a fairly good reliability. It's quite funny, really. Its economy does 15 mpgs. Not that great, is it? I'm guessing it's mpg, its economy rating is 15. So, yeah, I'll see you guys in Beamng. Hello guys, here we are, back in Beamng. We are in Beamng and we're going to go ahead and test this thing out. So, make this thing full screen. And there we go, yeah, so we are in Beamng. If we check here, we should hopefully see, yep, the Chili Dragster van. There it is, next to my other two cars that I've also built. So we'll go ahead and get ourselves loaded into the Top Gear test track, and let's see what this thing can do. Now, as I said, I'm expecting this thing to be all straight line speed and not much cornering. So, and we'll see when we come up to the first corner whether I am right about that. Hopefully this thing won't shake my wheel around like the supercar we built. That was a bit unstable to drive. It was very unstable. Obviously it was my first test build. You know, this is now the second episode and the third car I've built doing this. So, hopefully I've learnt from that first mad power car, but that mad power car did have a difference, and that one difference was quite simply, you know, it was a mad power car, but it was also a supercar. It had quite a high level of, like downforce and other things. This is a van, it does not have, it's not very aerodynamic. It doesn't have much downforce. So I don't know how this thing will react, but we'll see what it can do around the lap. First, it should be able to do a 109, which is slightly slower than the supercar, but quicker than the GT4. That's based on automation, not based on what I've been able to set in them. All three of those times, but we'll see what we can do in this car. So this is the monstrosity we've created. This thing actually looks good, I think, unlike some of the other cars. But I don't know why the number plate sticks out so much, but oh well. So this thing might turn out to be completely stupid. This is the monster of an engine inside of it. Whoa, it's loud. Okay, I'm expecting this thing to be loud. I don't know. We haven't, obviously, this being like a car, because it doesn't have like a front that sticks out. I can't see. I mean, right, okay, first initial sort of thoughts, it doesn't really rattle my wheel, which is good. That means it's been built correctly. 1, 2, 3, go. Let's see what's oh my word, it's quick. It's quick off the line, and it doesn't handle too bad. Oh, it handles terribly. Oh dear, I get to a corner, try to brake, and yeah, that sort of says it all, really. Sadly, this thing is not the greatest when it comes to cornering. I already expected that. So, we'll see what you can do in this thing. It's very quick in a straight line, as expected. And then I get to a corner, it's one of those cars where I have to, whoa! No, not even braking in a straight line works with this car. But not being on the throttle and everything. So despite the assists that we put in this thing, it looks like it's pretty much undrivable. I mean, it is a drag car, and it does exactly what a drag car would, which is absolutely obliterate everything in a straight line, and then when it gets to a corner, just spin out. Yeah, in fact, I'm doing 50 around this corner, and I'm turning, look, full lock, and we can barely get round it. That's how slow this thing is. This thing is not a track car. Like, I'm going to get that clear to anyone who wants this mod. I recommend using it for something like drag racing, or maybe a stupid police chase. It's not good for track racing. It's not a track racer, as it says in the title. It is a dragster. Oh my word, this thing's brakes are terrible. I literally just, like, mashed on the brakes, and this thing went straight on. So, yeah. Conclusion from this, we're not going to get a lap time out of this thing, I don't think. Somehow. Also, my wheel has come off of its desk. I'll just stop while I repair that. That's better. That's much better. Anyway, yeah, it's kind of silly, this. I accidentally, messed it up with it. I've accidentally put it in auto gears. No, I've accidentally put it out of auto gears. I don't know how I've done that. How have I done that? Oh, there you go, that's better. So, yeah. So what have we learned from this car, then? It's terrible, but it's very quick. So, we're not going to get a lap out of this thing, as I said. So, I mean, look at that. Look at this. It's such a bad car. Look at that, full lock, 30 mile an hour, and it can only just get around that corner. It's not good. As I said, it wasn't supposed to be good at this. So we'll go ahead and reset it. And let's take it down to the runway. This is where I want this car to shine. So, the other car, I can't exactly remember what the top end, I think the supercar reached, was it 226? And I want this thing to beat that. If this thing can beat 226... it has done exactly what I wanted it to do. It's checked both boxes. Well, it's checked 3 boxes. It's a van. So out of the 3 boxes I wanted to tick, it's already ticked one of them. It's a van. Second one, higher than 226 in a straight line. Third, can't corner. Well, it can't corner either, so there we go. We've got 2 out of 3 objectives from this car. Those are the easy ones. Those 2, a van, well, duh, and getting... no cornering, well that's easy, just don't try to make it any good in terms of downforce. It's the straight line speed and the tuning of the engine that was the difficult parts with this build. And if this thing can achieve this, at 226, remember by the last X, well not the last X, the one after the middle X on the runway. If we can reach 226 by then, it's a success. Off we go. Right, one problem straight away. This thing might need to be driven in auto. This thing may need to be driven in auto. I'll wait and see, but yeah, it might have to be driven in auto, this thing. Or I think what we have to do is be very light on the acceleration. Otherwise, it's a weird thing in Beamng where basically it just doesn't do anything for some reason. We'll try putting it in like, it's like automatic gear. That's better. I think that's how to get the best out of a double clutch system on Beam. So let's line up for another go, and I will make sure to set my like start area here. So I'm using my gear stick now. So this is, so we've got manual, we've got S. I don't know what S is. We'll use S. Is that like sport or something? It's so quick. The problem is the gears can't keep up with it. Alright, I got it. We can use manual gears. I set the new home point. Oh, I set the new home point though. So if I can take control of the gears, we'll get a much better performance out of this thing. Because with the other cars, if I mash the throttle, the gears just went up like they should. But for some reason in this car, we're not having that. So it's so quick, that's the problem. It's so quick. The automatic gearbox, this thing obviously wasn't designed with an automatic. It's only Beamng that gives it one. So that's probably why it's so powerful. The automatic gearbox can't handle it. So 1, 2, 3. And I can see why. I'm constantly shifting up there. Oh, maybe the gear ratios could have been a bit better. Oh my word, this thing is dumb. Okay, for some reason it just slowed down randomly on us there. I don't know why that was, but it slowed down randomly when it reached 220. So we managed to get about 230 from the car then. But for whatever reason, oh my word, this thing does not stop. I'm mashing on the brakes. Hello, this thing, yeah, that wasn't 8 seconds. That was much longer. Yeah, this thing's a dumb car. Like, I will say that. I mean, it's done what we wanted it to. Right, go. Right, first X. We need to get the gears just right in this car. Whoa, 240 and then the car just lost itself. That was amazing. Okay, I think I've discovered this car now. I've discovered how this car works. Well, we've succeeded in our task of beating the other car down the runway. Now, the other car had a top speed, not down the runway, but it maxed out at 246. It was slightly lower than what it said it could do in automation. So let's see what this thing can do in this game. It's an old car, this. Its physics are slightly bugged, I think. Yeah, when we get to 230, it just starts to go around on itself. Right, there we go. 200 and something. You know what? We might need to get the airspeed counter on this thing to truly know what this thing is capable of. Unfortunately, because our little our wheel speed is slightly off, sadly, because of what we've got here. So put this down here, just above the damage counter. I need to sort out the UI a bit there. Where is it? That's not it. That's the track builder. Nope. Where is it? Where's the UI? Here. There. That's our airspeed. So this is what our actual speed is. The speedometer is wrong. We really should have been using this the whole time, thinking about it, but I've only just been using it now with this car. With the other cars, it hasn't been apparent because this thing's wheel spin causes us to get a false readout on there. So you can see there. Look, this is the speed we're actually doing. Still wheel spinning. That's our problem. And there you go. Now the speedometer has caught up. This thing is so dumb. Like when you get to like 210, it just breaks. And there you go. Now we're on the flat ground. This is seeing how fast this thing can really go. So can it get to the 262 that automation says? 237, 239, 239, I think 239, but 265 is the wheel speed, which is what would have taken, 265 is the wheel speed, which is that's what we took off the supercar, so it has beaten the supercar. Its problem is wheel spin. It gets far too much wheel spin, unfortunately, for what we'd rather, but it's an amazing car. Absolutely amazing car, this thing. Van, I should say. It's amazing. It's, over a quarter-mile drag race in manual. As long as you have it in manual, I reckon this thing's amazing. This thing, this thing will beat pretty much anything, which is what we wanted it to do. So, as far as I'm aware, I'm satisfied. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed. Now tune in for all future streams that I do, and of course more of these build, race, design episodes. I mean, look at this thing. It's an amazing, it's a stupid car, van, but it's amazing. So, thank you guys so much for watching.